Namaste, I am Soumya and welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here. We are at the end of December. Let me check what the date is. It's the 20th of December today. So the year is coming to an end. A lot of you might be on holidays, and there could be some of you like me who's just going on with your daily life and not feeling the holiday vibes. Whatever your vibe is, today's session is first we do EFT, which is Emotional Freedom Technique. I have prior to this done an EFT session for women's health, focusing on Lewis Hayes affirmations on fibroids. Today's EFT is a combination of wealth affirmations and health affirmations, like well-being affirmations. If you hear some crunching sounds in the background, that's my little one, so kindly excuse that. Before you start tapping, if you know about EFT, it's like we tap different acupressure points in our body. The karate chop point, right here, 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 here. I like to go all the way in here. Some people just tap here, and sometimes I tap down here, then we tap here and here. We finish it off by tapping right here, which this place is called Padappa in Malayalam, and it's very, very important. So what we do is we tap in affirmations, but because we are tapping, our energy starts shifting. If you are someone who has panic attacks, who has asthma, other respiratory problems, who has extreme mental illness, you've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, those kind of things, kindly do not proceed with the tapping. However, you can say the affirmations out loud. Before I start the tapping session, let's go into the affirmations. It's a combination of affirmations from the late Bob Proctor and Deepak Chopra. So if you feel the affirmation sits right with you and this is good, this is interesting, and your body and your energy feels open to it, do it. But if you feel like, nah, I don't think I resonate with this doesn't feel good to me, then follow your inner guidance and don't do it. You can use these affirmations for 1, saying out loud, 2, doing tapping, 3, use it for scripting, 4, anytime you feel an overwhelming negative thought about your wealth, your health, your current situation, to help you shift that thought pattern, you can use these affirmations as the intervention. So there's so many wonderful ways in which you can use this affirmation. These affirmations, if you are scripting it, it's better to use red ink. And the reason for that is red ink is associated with fire energy. If you know zodiac signs, then red ink is highly associated with Aries energy and a little bit of Leo and Sagittarius, but primarily Aries. And Aries is known for instant manifestation, like going after the things they want, not being the most patient of the signs, kind of on the impulsive level, but they are leaders and go-getters, and they're not like scared of the world. Got it? The world sometimes is scared of them. So that is why we use red ink. Do not use black ink if you believe in astrology, because black is ruled by Saturn. In Malayalam and Hindi we say Shani, and Shani is there to cleanse and get rid of things. It's not here to exactly manifest something. So if you don't want something and you are doing a cleansing journaling session, then you can use your black ink. But if you are doing a scripting session where you are creating things for your future, where you're manifesting, then you use red ink. I hope that is clear. Again, Stick to what feels right for you. Do not listen to me or anyone else. Your inner guidance should always be given a lot of importance. Now let's go to the affirmations. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through many sources on a continuous basis. Money flows to me in avalanches of abundance. God is my abundant supply, and large sums of money comes to me easily and quickly. I am happy and grateful now that I have a joyful, energetic body, reflective, alert mind, compassionate heart, and lightness of being. So we are cycling these affirmations into our tapping session. Please sit in a comfortable position. Get really clear about how are you feeling. Just check in with yourself. Breathe deep. Keep your back straight. Become very aware of how you are feeling now and set an intention for how you want to feel after the tapping session. Keep your energy, your body, your channel completely clear and be very open to miracles. Be open to everything around you supporting you. Everything is working out for your highest good and deepest well-being. So releasing all the resistance, let us start tapping. If at any point you feel like the energy is too much, there is too much of buzzing, kindly stop tapping and just focus on your breath. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through many sources on a continuous basis. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through many sources on a continuous basis. Money flows to me in avalanches of abundance. God is my abundant supply, and large sums of money comes to me easily and quickly. Money flows to me in avalanches of abundance. God is my abundant supply, and large sums of money comes to me easily and quickly. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through many sources on a continuous basis. Money flows to me in avalanches of abundance. God is my abundant supply, and large sums of money comes to me easily and quickly. Money flows to me in avalanches of abundance. God is my abundant supply, and large sums of money comes to me easily and quickly. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through many sources on a continuous basis. Money flows to me in avalanches of abundance. God is my abundant supply, and large sums of money comes to me easily and quickly. I am happy and grateful now that I have a joyful, energetic body, reflective, alert mind, compassionate heart, and lightness of being. I am happy and grateful now that I have a joyful, energetic body, reflective, alert mind, compassionate heart, and lightness of being. I am happy and grateful now that I have a joyful, energetic body, reflective, alert mind, compassionate heart, and lightness of being. I am happy and grateful now that I have a joyful, energetic body, reflective, alert mind, compassionate heart, and lightness of being. I accept this in my body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit. It is done. All is well. Take a couple of deep breaths. If you want, you can do square breathing. I think the last time someone asked me more about square breathing, it is 4 seconds inhale, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds exhale, then you hold 4 seconds before your next inhale. So if you want to proceed with the square breathing, keep watching. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can cycle this up. That is one way of breathing, which is called square breathing. Another way of breathing, which I really enjoy, is 4 seconds inhale and a really long exhale. Okay, so let's do it. So you exhale through your mouth. Every time you feel very, very stressed or panic coming up, holiday season, too many people are around you, people you love, and some people who are not the best of your friends or family. In those moments, find a quiet space inside a washroom, go to the front yard, anything like that, or a balcony, and just focus on your breath. Let's do it again. Now, if you are all by yourself, the next part of doing this is a vocal toning, which is you inhale through your nose. When you exhale through your mouth, the exhale is longer than the inhale, and also you start making sounds like you can say e. And this is because your voice is very, very soothing to your own nervous system. If you come from the Eastern culture, you know that mothers sing lullaby for their little ones. In our culture, there is no separate crib. Most of the time there's a cradle and there's a lot of baby wearing. Mothers hold their babies, mothers feed their babies, and we sing lullabies and put the little ones to sleep. My son is 8.5 years old, but even now when he falls completely sick and he's very cranky, I sing lullabies to him. And that is because most of us associate our mother's voice as something that really soothes us. It soothes our nervous system, cause of which our body feels very, very peaceful. We feel peaceful. Our breathing becomes more deep. No more shallow breaths. It's more of oxygen inhalation and getting rid of all the things that you don't need out of your system. So a level of calming your nervous system, which in turn calms down your body, that situation happens because of lullabies. This is because we associate, as I mentioned, our mother's voice with something that soothes us and calms us down. It's not the case for everyone, because not everybody has healthy relationships with their mother. So, and that's okay. We are all going through our own different journeys, and our stories do not have to be the same. However, most of the time, most of us, again, as I mentioned, if you do not have extreme mental illnesses, if you haven't had any highly traumatic experiences, levels of abuse in your childhood, then most of the time our voice is very soothing for us. Maybe consciously we judge our voice. I used to do that a lot. I am very, very soft spoken, and I was made fun of in the school. My name is Soumya, right? And the way I talk was way more softer than this. I was afraid. I'm an introvert, and I had so many childhood experiences, cause of which I didn't talk much for a really long period of my childhood. So when I was asked questions in the class, even the teachers would make fun of me, saying, "Are you whispering? Are you whispering to yourself? Don't you want us to hear?" So the girls in the class used to be like, "Oh, meow, so meow." And that was very embarrassing, and I used to come home and cry. So I tried to raise my voice because I didn't like how I sounded. Way later on, a lot of inner work, integration work, meditation, praying, and just crossing the age of 30, it just gives you another level of confidence and wisdom and self-acceptance. And the reason for that is, by the time you are done by like 31, the Saturn return is almost over. 33, I think, is like Saturn maturity happens, and 36 is your nodal returns. So much happens in this period for everyone. You reach a state of self-acceptance. So if you like your voice, and if you're not critical about your voice, then your voice is very soothing for your nervous system. So I can show you an example of vocal toning, but I want you to be aware of the fact that I kind of get a little nervous in front of the camera, because I think I was very afraid to show up as someone who practices spirituality, as someone who talks about astrology, as someone who talks about vocal toning, because I thought, oh my god, what if people are gonna think I'm just too woo-woo or too much out there. I was very scared of talking about Ayurveda. I mean, it's my culture, and I was just so scared because I was worried how would you perceive me. But in the past so many months, all my woo-woo stuff has received so much love and support from all of you that I feel we need more of that. And I'm not gonna call it woo-woo. This is spirituality. This is also psychology. This is also our physiology. Our psychology affects our physiology, and our physiology affects our psychology. So it's such a deep and beautiful topic. And these are things I wish I was taught when I was very young. I was taught a plus b the whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Trust me, I have never used that equation in my day-to-day life. I was taught trigonometry, integration, differentiation, algebra. I don't think I've used any of those things outside the school. I wish they taught us emotional regulation. I wish we were taught nervous system regulation. I wish we were taught about our own bodies and how we can control our own bodies. Since those things were not taught to me, at least in my school and in my curriculum, I feel like I wanna share the limited amount of knowledge I have with everyone who's ready to learn, to grow, to evolve, to improve their life. So this video and me sharing all of these things, which makes me very uncomfortable because of being judged, it's also done so that, one, I can overcome all these things and show up as a more authentic version of myself. Yes, I'm someone who went to the university, who's got a master's degree, who worked in the corporate world, but I'm also someone who enjoys learning more about astrology and how it correlates to the different archetypes of us. I'm also interested in psychology. I'm also interested in cognitive behavioral therapy, and it's absolutely okay for me to show up and discuss all of these things because I know my audience, one, they are open, two, they know whether they like this or not, and if they do not like it, they would click out of it, and that is also great, right? Okay, let's do the vocal toning now.
I hope you did that with me, and I hope you're feeling so much better. You will have a feeling of being centered and grounded and held. This helps you so much in nervous system regulation, which helps in your emotional regulation. Instead of feeling frazzled and panicked and unsupported, we are using our own voices, our own breath to anchor ourselves, to connect deeply with ourselves, to connect deeply with universe, God, Almighty, whatever resonates with you. Please let me know in the comments, how did that feel like? Let me just check how long have I been recording. Okay, I just saw angel number. It's always a confirmation. Again, that was something I was so scared of discussing because people would think, oh my God, all the new age stuff. But that's okay. This is my truth. We all find our truths in separate ways and different ways. Now, if you are done with EFT and if you are done with vocal toning and if you have listened to this much, then you can conclude this session by just being happy, and you can come back. I would leave the timestamps down in the description and also in the comment section. The next part of this session, of this video, is like a check-in session. Take it as you going to your therapist and just having a simple conversation. Okay, so the first question is, I've written things down. Okay, how is your physical health, mental health, emotional health? We're not talking about the spiritual health, are you meditating or any of those things, no. How are you feeling mentally, physically, emotionally? I have actually watched Kaylin Nicholson's video based on this. While I was looking at live check-in questions online, I'm doing cognitive behavioral therapy training. So it's a lot about self-awareness of how am I feeling. And I realized, okay, so this is me answering so that my answers can activate something inside you and give you more clarity. You can just take a piece of paper and start writing how are you feeling physically, mentally and emotionally. Or you can just answer now by pausing the video, or you can just listen to my answer and see what comes up for you. Okay, physically, I have had better days. I was sick for a couple of days, because of which I've not been working out, and I don't feel great. I miss the rush of endorphins in my body because of my workouts, and I feel like my neck is like very stiff, and I don't feel very alive. That's how the body is feeling, so I need to work on that. Mentally, because I felt sick and I've been at home for so long, and it's another holiday season where people are leaving Dubai and going to different parts of Europe, and I'm not going anywhere. It's affecting me. It's making me very... Am I feeling angry or am I feeling sad?
No, I'm feeling sad. I feel deflated and sad, and I feel like I want to just shrink and go to a corner of the room and just wrap myself in a blanket, and I just want to disappear. And I don't want to see the pictures of other people traveling and having fun. It's not that I'm jealous that they are doing it. I'm happy they're able to do that for themselves. I am so sad I am not able to do that for myself. That's how I'm feeling. This whole holiday cheer, I feel like is actually for people who, should I say this? Is actually for people who has a lot of money and someone like me who's just worrying a lot about safety, security and future. I'm feeling very, very deeply sad that it's another holidays, which is again commercialized. And okay, so that's where I'm feeling. I don't want to go further into it because I don't want this video to be something where I have to like edit so much out. I want it to be as raw and honest. What are my emotions? My emotions have been going up and down a lot, and one of the reasons for that is I've not been focusing on nervous system regulation. I was just letting things just happen, a lot of tasks to just pile up, and instead of opening my mouth and asking for help to my husband, I was just expecting him to just psychically understand that she needs a lot of help while she's sick. So I've been having this emotional roller coaster, and this morning I just had a cup of coffee, tidied up a lot of things. I actually sat down and did EFT, and what a shift in energy. The next thing I know, I'm putting makeup on, wearing all this and sitting in front of the camera to record after I think 2 weeks. So one, I feel so bad that I just let my physical, mental, emotional health just go. It was not a priority, and I didn't realize that I was not prioritizing it, and then it was like a downward slope. And today, after the EFT session I did and the breathing I did, and now being in front of the camera and being so open and vulnerable with all of you, I feel a shift. I genuinely feel a shift. So that's good, right? I hope you're feeling much better than I am, and I hope your thoughts, feelings, emotions are good, as in better than mine. There's no good or bad, okay? This is one thing I want to say. This is a caveat thing. Also, this is an important topic. Are my emotions good or are my emotions bad? Nothing is good or bad. It's all based on how are you dealing with it. For example, if you're very angry, something made you really angry, and you go slap someone, punch someone, physically hurt someone, verbally abuse someone, we see in news, right? Like people are just going and vandalizing properties, private properties and public properties, and like throwing things at others. And if that's how your anger comes out, then that's obviously not healthy at all, right? Because now your anger is something others have to deal with. But if you are angry and then the way you deal with that is to go on a really long walk, a brisk walking session, go for jogging, go work out, like people do that punching thing, but in the gym, out in the beach, you're going for a swim, and you let all that energy like come out of you, and you're like working with that energy, not resisting it, but also not putting your anger and emotion as somebody else's responsibility to manage or somebody else's problem. Like your emotions should not become a problem for others. So if your emotions become a problem for others, I have had a childhood where certain emotional issues of my parents, caregivers caused me physical pain, and that's not okay. And as I am a parent, I understand that if I'm angry at something, if I'm sad about something, I do not go abuse my child physically, mentally, verbally, because I'm angry. No, my anger is something that I have to deal with in a mature manner, in a healthy manner. Anger can be good or bad based on how you deal with it. Your sorrow can be good or bad based on how you deal with it. Even feeling jealous, it can be good or bad based on how you deal with it. We see all these scenes where a woman feels very jealous about the beauty of that other woman, and she tries to like throw red wine at her, and that's so petty and obviously very unhealthy. But if someone's looks makes you jealous and you make it a point to get good with your mental health, physical health, get your wardrobe in order, or really give a lot of importance to grooming really well, then you are using that jealousy in a way in which that you will improve, and your jealousy doesn't become a problem for someone else to solve or deal with. So that is that. This full video has become a full-on life coaching free session, so you're welcome. Okay, now, so that was one of the life check-in questions. The other question is, this is also very difficult for me. How is your home life and how are your relationships? So let's do it like two questions. One is, how is your home life? The other one is, how are your relationships? Somewhere for me, this is like all together. My home life is not at its best. We should be shifting from here in a while, and since we know we are shifting in a while, we have not been doing a lot of maintenance stuff, and I am someone whose environment affects them. Some people are like cool with environments not affecting them. If your moon is in a detached sign like Aquarius, moon in Aquarius, you wouldn't constantly look around the environment and the aesthetics and let that affect your mood. But if you have your moon in very Venusian signs, then your surroundings actually has a lot of impact on you. Aesthetics has an impact on you. So that is a tip for you. You can go and check where your moon sign is and how it affects your mood. For example, if your moon is in, say, Virgo, cleanliness is a big thing for you. And if your surroundings are clean, you deal so well with other stuffs. But if your moon is in Libra, aesthetics are so important. It's not just a clean environment. Libra needs to see more intricate details. And your moon is in Cancer, it's not just about aesthetics, it's about coziness. So moon signs really play a big role. Again, if your moon is in Pisces, your space is more of a sanctuary for you to really dream. It's like a sanctuary where you can just be yourself, do all the bohemian stuff you do. And then there are certain moon signs for whom they don't care too much about the home environment. They're more about let's go out there and explore and have fun and travel. Like certain moon in fire signs, they really love going out there and traveling and exploring. Less moon in Leo, more moon in Aries and Sagittarius. They like to be active and outdoors and things. So I have been affected by home life. I have so much more folding and cleaning to do, and we have a long list of things we should be changing and repairing, but we still haven't finalized anything about where are we moving to, when are we shifting, the whole. So there's a lot that's weighing down on me. Relationships, I'm in touch with everyone, but it's been a long time since I actually had a deep conversation. I think I had a deep conversation with my husband like few days ago, but other than that, with my friends, with my dad, mom, with my brother, it's been a while since I had like deep conversation. Like, how are you really doing? What was the happiest point of your last week? Or what did you enjoy eating the most last week? What are the lessons the last month taught you? Like, I love having those kind of deep conversations, and I get so much nourishment from deep conversations because I'm an introvert. And just the last one, I think, few weeks actually has been all about just checking in with each other. Hey, are you okay? Sending a forward. I yeah, I miss having, like, meeting people in person and just actually looking them in their eyes and just having just really beautiful conversations and just really cozy environment and yummy food. Yeah, so I feel relationships are okay, but it lacks a lot of depth and coziness and a deeper connection. Are you like a deep person who wants to have deep conversations? Because my best friend, she runs away from deep conversations. Like, she's not ready for deep conversations. She hates it. And sometimes I like really force her to sit down and ask her like questions, and she has to confront the issues that is inside her, the internal conflicts. 1 second. Yeah, it's still recording. Her own internal conflicts, and sometimes she likes me for it, sometimes she absolutely hates me for it, but I just tell her, you're welcome. So let me know, when was the last time you had like a really deep conversation with someone that just nourished you inside and out, that just gave you such big aha moments? I would love to know. Next is yeah, what else? What emotion is most dominant for you right now? This is exactly the question that was there in Kaylin's video, and this was very much a big part of my CBT training. Like, what emotion is dominant now? People come to you with like lots of emotions, lots of feelings, lots of thoughts, and they want to completely work on everything together. But the first question you ask is, okay, I acknowledge that these things are there in your head, but let's start with the most dominant one. Work our way down. So most dominant to the least dominant, and then we address one by one. So I don't know. Is that a right answer to say? I think until yesterday I was just very sad. Today is like sitting here talking to you, and the doing the EFT and everything. My emotion, I think, is, it's not neutral, but it's more like hopeful. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. And the other one is, what are you hoping to manifest in your next year? I don't like hoping to manifest, so, because when you say I hope, I will try, we are not committing to things. So I would rather be like, what are you manifesting next year? Mine would be changing my residence. That's one of the first things. And this other thing would be working on all the financial insecurities I have had all my life. Insecurities of money comes but doesn't stay, I don't know how to make my money multiply, or things like all the finance stuff. I'm working on those things. What are you working on? What are you manifesting? What are you calling into your life? I would love to know. But you don't always have to mention that in the comments, because there's also the belief of, don't let the steam evaporate. Let the steam be there. Let it get cooked. Let it get juicier and yummier, and then finally when you open it, we're all gonna eat that yummy food. Don't like open and check and open and check and open and check. Just keep it there. Let it get cooked. Cook means you're keeping your nervous system regulated. You're saying the affirmations, you are looking at your visualization board, and then you become a reciprocal for everything that you are manifesting. This is something a lot of people misunderstand, do not understand enough. Say that someone wants to manifest a big promotion, okay? But it's like a huge jump from their current job. The new promotion comes with, of course, a big pay and a big position, but it also requires you to wear, say, a full suit. It requires you to travel a lot, international travels and domestic travels. It requires you to work longer hours, be okay to go meet clients even after the work hours, take the clients out on dinner. And it's so much more. It expects so much more from you. So when you simply say that I just want this promotion, I just want all that money, sometimes people don't understand and realize that I have to be a reciprocal for it. So if you are someone who is more of a homebody, who's just started a relationship, who wants to have more time with your new partner, then are you really a reciprocal for this new job? Then what kind of changes do you have to bring into your life to be a reciprocal for this new job? From your grooming to your conversation skills to your day-to-day communication skills to your email. This position requires you to have, one second, yeah, if this position requires you to have dinner in hi-fi places, then do you know the European eating etiquettes? So those kind of things, and learning those things and becoming that person. So eventually when you get that promotion, you have the clothes, you have the time, you have the right attitude, you know how to eat in these hi-fi places, you know how to send those emails, you have read those books, you know what leadership is and how you can cultivate your leadership qualities. So it's about becoming reciprocal to everything you are manifesting. Say that I want to go to London, okay, in December. I have to be prepared because it's snowing there. So I have to get my thermal wear, my puffer jackets, my gloves, my boots, and make my boots waterproof, get my hat, get more items that I can layer, get fleece leggings. So I have to do a lot of preparation and become the reciprocal to enjoying London in December. I can't just go to London in my usual sari and salwar kameez and be like, oh my god, it's so cold, I always wanted to come to London, but I'm not enjoying because it's so cold. That is because I didn't become the reciprocal. I didn't do the prep work. I didn't do any kind of homework, any kind of preparation, and I just showed up in my sari to a -1 degree Celsius weather condition. So who do I blame, the universe or myself? So these kind of things. Some people say that I want to be in a relationship, I'm manifesting new love into my life in 2030. Sorry, not 2030, 2023. and and then they have all these limiting beliefs of, oh, but this other gender. I've heard my husband's friends saying that, oh, you can't trust women these days, and then they are looking for a relationship. How do you think it's gonna pan out? If your belief system is that you can't trust women, there's no good women out there, then guess what happens? You go to the bar and meet some random person, and that woman could actually be one of those women who wants a lot of money from you. She's not gonna love you. You know why? Because of your belief system, you are a reciprocal only to women who cannot be trusted. And if you are a woman who believes that men cheat, guess what? You are a reciprocal to men who wants to cheat. Because if you strongly, firmly believe that there is an amazing man out there who's gonna love me, who's gonna, cherish me, who's gonna give me like that deep soul level love, and we are gonna have that divine union, soul nourishing love we both will experience with each other. And in that moment, you're not even thinking that he's gonna cheat and he's gonna do this and he's gonna do that. Your belief system is such that you are a reciprocal for that kind of a spiritual man to come into your life. I am not saying blindly believe anyone or give your bank details and stuff to people, but what I'm saying is, what are you a reciprocal for? What are your belief systems, and how are you preparing yourself? So these are things that you can work on So if you have a vision board and if you have a nice car in there, you have to prepare enough that that swanky car will need maintenance, that car will need fuel, that car will need a proper like covered garage where you can keep it safe. So it's not just about getting the car. Like, do you have a closed garage or a basement parking in a nice building for that car? Can you afford the car's maintenance? Can you afford the amount of fuel the car is gonna drink? So it's not just about the car, it's not just bringing something into your life, it's about you shifting your identity and elevating yourself so that you can enjoy what you have manifested, but also you can sustain that. So yeah, these are like live check-in questions. You can definitely watch Kaylin's video. I think it's like a 2-month-old video, which is 16 live check-in questions. Out of that, these were the things that like really resonated with me, and I obviously wanted to add more elements of astrology to it. And if you can buy one book, I would highly recommend you to get this one. It's from Louise Hay. It is Heal Your Body: The Mental Causes for Physical Illness and the Metaphysical Way to Overcome Them. So if you are one of those people who says like, inner work, I don't know, where do I start inner work from, and I don't know, I'm just too lost, then this is a great book. See, for example, say that you have back problems. I know a lot of people today have a lot of back problems. If you have a lower back problem, lower back paining, this book says it is because of fear of money, lack of financial support. Now, if you have a lower back problem, and if this is true, rings true for you, that you are scared there is not enough money, then the affirmation for you is, I trust the process of life. All I need is always taken care of. I am safe. I trust the process of life. All I need is always taken care of. I am safe. If you have a middle back problem, it is guilt. Stuck in all that stuff back there, get off my back. I remember having this issue when I had like not so wonderful conversation with my parents about something that happened back in my childhood. And then I came home and I had this like pain right in the middle of my back because I was just feeling so guilty that I spoke like that to my parents. I'm an Indian, so in our culture we don't really speak back at our parents. We just say that they are right, and Mata Pita Guru Devam, so they're always right, and I'm so sorry. And then one day I just snapped and I was like, no, I have done this. I've always been a good girl, and then you just kept expecting more, blah blah blah. Anyways, sorry, I went on a tiny bit of a rant. So if you have a middle back pain, you can say, I release the past. I am free to move forward with love in my heart. If you have an upper back pain, which is like this area, just right below the shoulder, and sometimes even the shoulder, it is a lack of emotional support, feeling unloved, holding back love. You feel there is not many people supporting you emotionally, and sometimes you feel that you are not able to fully give love to others because they are not loving you back. So for this the affirmation is, I love and approve of myself. Life supports and loves me. That's so beautiful. So you can just go through this, and like it says like this: problem, probable cause, and new thought pattern. Now this is very similar to cognitive behavioral therapy, where we address our negative automatic thoughts, which is known as NAT. Is it recording? It is. So we acknowledge our negative automatic thoughts, we write it down, and then we write the new thought pattern. So if your negative automatic thought is, nobody loves me, then you can create a new thought pattern of, I am loved. Universe loves me. I can feel love flowing through my body. I love me. So this is how you shift. One more thing. Acne. Not accepting the self, dislike of the self. And whether you believe it or not, a lot of teenagers deal with acne because of hormonal issues. But teenage is also when you start nitpicking a lot, right? You don't like the way you look, you don't like the way certain people treat you, your crush is with somebody else, you feel like, oh, there's so much to study, it never gets over, parents are never happy. There is so much of dislike and non-acceptance. So in that case, the new thought pattern, the affirmation you can say is, I am a divine expression of life. I love and accept myself where I am right now. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. There's so much. I wish I could just sit here and talk about every single thing. You can easily get this book. I think this was 15 dirhams and I bought it from Borders. There's also this book. You can get the PDF version. Anyways, should we do one more? Okay, cellulite. A lot of men and women have this. Cellulite is stored anger and self-punishment. So you can say, I forgive others, I forgive myself, I am free to love and enjoy life. Oh my God, that is beautiful. I have been having chills the last week. Chills, okay? It is mental contraction, pulling away and in. Desire to retreat, leave me alone. Oh, that is crazy. Can you see that? Leave me alone. That's crazy because that's exactly what I was feeling with this whole holidays and people traveling and me not being able to do that. So I don't know if you were watching the whole video where I mentioned that I just felt like going to a corner and oh my God, yeah, this is what I was feeling. So if you have the same chills, then the new thought pattern is, I am safe and secure at all times. Love surrounds me and protects me. All is well. Oh, that's great. I'm gonna tap this in today. So there's so much. These are all like symptoms and new thought patterns. So I highly recommend this book if you're buying something for the coming year. And if you are at a point where you're like, I have been hearing so much about inner work, but I just don't know how to do it and where to start. If you are in that phase in your life, then yes, this book and Louise Hay, I highly recommend. Then the other book I have been loving is this one, Autobiography of a Yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda. It's a very big book and I just read a few pages a week because this is like medicine, you know. Like I'll just read certain things and okay. I understood later that the explosive vibratory power in speech could be wisely directed to free one's life from difficulties and thus operate without scar or rebuke. Today we talk about neuro-linguistic programming, we talk about CBT, where you become very conscious about what words are you using, how can you reframe that sentence, tapping in affirmations. And this book talks about the same thing, the explosive vibratory power in speech should be wisely directed to free one's life from difficulties. So what are you saying? What are you thinking? What words are you using on a day-to-day level? What sentences are you repeating every single day? Because what comes out of your mouth comes into your life. That's what Jen Sincero says. So this book has been like Wow. But you should be very open, as I mentioned. If you are an atheist person, and if you are like, oh come on, grow up, is it scientifically proven kind of a person, then you might not enjoy. But yeah, I highly recommend this book. I have finished like what, 123 pages, and I've underlined so much. He talks about Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga is your Chintamani, the technique which, as you see, is simple, embodies the art of quickening man's spiritual evolution. Hindu scriptures teach that the incarnating ego requires 1,000,000 years to obtain liberation from Maya. This natural period is greatly shortened through Kriya Yoga. So that's that. I have never done Kriya Yoga. If you have, let me know about it in the comments. Another thing, really, like I've mentioned, underlined, it has been your thoughts that have made you feel alternately weak and strong. Thought is a force, even as electricity or gravitation. The human mind is a spark of the almighty consciousness of God. I could show you that whatever your powerful mind believes very intensely would instantly come to pass. So I highly recommend you to read this book. I will be here the entire day if I'm going through everything I underlined, and I've only been through like 123 pages. Yeah, just 123 pages. And I've underlined so much, and I just sit down and just assimilate everything. I have so many books I want to read, but this year was good in general, but so much has happened, and this year taught me to ask for help. This year taught me it's okay to take a break. This year taught me I don't have to be a know-it-all and do it all. And this year again keeps on teaching me about the importance of boundaries. I don't want to keep talking. I think I have crossed 49 minutes in the second video. I have to put it all together, edit. And this was like a mini session, like you go to a therapist and you just talk about your feelings. You meet a friend and you just talk about some stuff you have been reading, some spiritual stuff, some aha moments. So this was something like that. And let me know in the comments if you have done the EFT and what do you think and feel about it. Let me know what is your moon sign and sun sign, if that is something you are into. I actually got a comment about doing perfumes for the zodiacs. It's actually a very, very, very complicated thing. Not like the cosmopolitan things you read, like, oh, Pisces, go for patchouli. Oh, Capricorn, go for luxury. It goes way beyond that. It's not just your sun sign. It's not just your moon sign. It's your rising sign. It's your Venus. It's your Mars. So it's so much more. What am I doing? I should stop talking. Kindly let me know if you have read this book. Let me know about your journey with Louis Hay's Affirmations, and how EFT tapping felt like for you. Let me know if this astrology topics and things like that are of interest to you. What else? I don't know if I'll be coming and doing another video this year, because as I mentioned, today is 20th of December. So I'm gonna wish you now itself, wishing you a very happy Christmas, Hanukkah, everything that you are celebrating, wishing you a very, very happy new year. Kindly take some time for yourself to acknowledge everything that you have accomplished this year. Acknowledge where you have failed. Acknowledge that I have achieved these things. Acknowledge the lessons you have learned, and very, very important is to acknowledge your pain. Not many people talk about this because we're all about think positive, do positive, think a better thought, say a better sentence, and that's all great, but it should come from a place of having deeply acknowledged your pain. For example, if me and my friend are walking together, she slips and falls, do I just drag her on the ground and be like, it's okay, just keep moving forward? No, I wouldn't, right? I would sit down, I would ask how is she feeling, can I touch her knees, can I check for any, scraped skin or any bruises. I would like sanitize it with whatever I have with me and put a band-aid on, and I would ask her if she wants help to get up from the ground. Should we like get a taxi? Can she walk? I would also ask her if she's feeling embarrassed about whatever happened, because trust me, no one was watching, but you can tell me whatever you're feeling. Like, I would do the whole thing. I would do the first aid, okay, on the physical level, and I would do the psychological first aid as well. But I never do that for myself. That was another realization I had during the Scorpio season was so intense, and Sagittarius season for me was about like integrating all the shadows that came up, and hopefully Capricorn season is going to be more grounded. So in the Scorpio season is when I started, like, all these things started coming up, that I am this, let's go, let's get things done. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister. So I have like lots of duties and lots of things I have to do on a daily basis. So if something happens to me, I never sit down and acknowledge my pain, because I'm like, that's okay, let's look at the positive. And that's when I realized, oh my God, when I'm with myself, I'm more on the path of toxic positivity, where I do not usually acknowledge my own pain. So I have been kind of sitting down and really looking at all my mental, emotional bruises and scraped skins, and tending to it and being like, how did I feel? Oh, that felt awful. I'm not doing that again. I'm not meeting that person again, or I will not let this person talk to me like that again. I need to have better boundaries. I've been having those kind of moments, rather than just being like, oh, that's okay, like, think like this happened, but so what? It's worse for people in Africa. Like, I understand people are there who's suffering, whose lives are worse than mine, but to me, my suffering also matters. Me discounting my suffering is not gonna do anything towards the suffering of other people, right? But me healing myself can actually contribute to the collective healing. So that's also one of the biggest lessons I have had this year, and I wanted to share it with you. Acknowledge your pain. Your pain is talking to you about certain things that's not going the right way. If you do not acknowledge it now, it's gonna manifest in breakdowns, and physical breakdowns, and mental breakdowns, and relationship breakdowns, and so many things in the future. So prevent explosions happening in the future by sitting down with yourself and acknowledging your pain, meeting a therapist, journaling, talking to a loved one, getting into more spiritual practices. All of those things can definitely help. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful holiday season, and hopefully by God's grace we'll meet next year. So bye bye. Namaste.